The contradictory strength and weakness of the strong black woman. It's an oxymoron to describe black women as both strong and weak at the same time, where the source of her strength is also her weakness. The strong black woman is defined by her resilience in the face of adversity, the strength she uses to support her family alone, and a tough, no-nonsense attitude. The archetype of the strong black woman goes back to slavery times in America, where a mammy played the part of a self-sacrificing caretaker who looked after the master's children as well as her own. The mammy was depicted as a black woman of strong moral character, which contrasted the stereotype of the angry black woman who was unnecessarily rude and emasculating to men, or the Jezebel stereotype of a black woman who was hypersexualized. But highlighting the character trait of strength becomes a weakness for the strong black woman. The strong black woman schema was created as a way for society to deflect the responsibility for the racial and gender-specific abuse black women suffer. If black women are constantly depicted as resilient and strong, then it means that she does not ever need help. The character trait of strength makes the black woman impervious to harm, and thereby the people inflicting the wounds upon her never have to be made accountable for their actions. As a result, the strength of the black woman makes her a target for abuse. Because of her strength, she is expected to endure pain and punishment while triumphantly carrying the burdens of other people. One example of the contradictory strength and weakness of the strong black woman can be seen in the movie Soul Food. The family matriarch, Big Mama, single-handedly held her family together and carried the financial burdens of the family when her husband lost nearly everything they had with a gambling problem.
You see, in life, we all make some bad choices. My husband was gambling, and yeah, he was bad at it. In fact, we almost lost this house. But I worked on my hands and knees, cleaning up after white folks, taking in laundry. See, you do what you have to do to stay strong, save the family.
Because of her strength, the black man in this scenario was never held accountable for gambling away his family's livelihood. He was just left with his pride, while the strong black woman protected him from responsibility. She made all the sacrifices to carry the family and the financial burden of his gambling problem. The strength she exuded got her family through the hard times, but it came at the cost of her own personal welfare. Rather than being able to care for her family with the support of a husband, she had to pick up his slack and work as a maid. Her strength enabled her to endure the hardship, but the source of her strength was the inadequacy of the black man. Within the black community, there exists a deficit of eligible black men due to the disproportionate number of black men who are killed or in jail. There is an educational and professional achievement gap between black men and black women. Because we live in a society that fears black men, there has been a tendency for black women to overcompensate by coddling their sons. Due to coddling, black boys are held to a lower social and behavioral standard while black girls are raised to be strong. Black women love their sons and raise their daughters. The coddling of black boys has socialized black women to protect black men from accountability, such as Big Mama quietly working to support the family after her husband burdened them with his gambling debts. The black woman gains her strength through the infantilization of the black man. The strong black woman relies upon her victimization in order to obtain the idea of becoming a strong black woman. Thus, the source of her strength is a contradiction because it is based upon her desire to uphold the weakness of the black man. She will defend the black man even to her own detriment. This can be seen in the faith-based film Then Sings My Soul, where a black mother defends her husband against her daughter despite very obvious signs that he is a sexual predator.
to apologize to your stepdad.
Why do you always take his side?
Tanya, I'm not trying to replace your father.
I never thought you were trying to replace Dad.
Then what is wrong with you?
You know what?
Todd said it was an accident.
No, forgetting to lock the door is an accident. He knew I was in the shower and he came in on purpose.
He didn't know you were in there.
He literally pulled the shower curtain back and looked at me.
Look, I know you're upset, okay? And it might have seemed like a long time because you're upset.
And that's not the only thing. I saw him peeping in my bedroom at night.
Are you sure you weren't dreaming? I mean, why would he do something like that? But I know he was in bed with me all night, asleep.
You were asleep. How would you know?
Look, I don't want to argue with you about this. I know my man loves me.
Black women are often the victims of within-group violence in the Black community from Black men. 50% of Black girls are sexually abused before they turn 18. Yet, Black women remain silent about this rampant abuse in order to protect Black men. This is associated with maladaptive beliefs that since Black men are victimized by society, they should not be punished for their abusive behavior. When paired with the idea of the self-sacrificing, strong Black woman archetype, the strength of the Black woman is derived from protecting Black male predators with silence after her personal victimization. This is how the strong Black woman is a contradiction. On one hand, she is resilient in overcoming adversity, while on the other hand, she is a perpetual victim of gender and racial trauma. Through her constant victimization, she obtains strength. She coddles and protects Black men with her strength, who in turn victimize her, and then through this victimization from Black men, she enters a cycle and becomes strong. The contradictory strength and weakness of the strong Black woman is a cycle of abuse. In order to break the cycle of strength through victimhood, Black women have to stop coddling their sons and stop using their strength to protect Black men from accountability. Although Black men have suffered from racial trauma and discrimination, it is not the job of the Black woman to protect these Black men from consequences when they commit crimes or they are abusive. If a Black woman can overcome both gender and racial boundaries, then the Black man can surely overcome his own racial boundaries without needing to be protected from accountability. Stop defending Black male abusers simply because of his racial struggles.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be provided for you.
What's this?
Homicide case. 18-year-old girl stabs her stepfather to death. She claims it was self-defense following a sexual assault.
Miss Tanya, why do you want me to defend you?
It's either you or a public defender.
I'm a lawyer. All my clients are crooks.
This scripture is just for you.
Deuteronomy 16:20. Follow justice and justice alone.
Justice is a ministry.
Well, does it help to get the devil praying for you?
Look, Jesus ate with tax collectors and prostitutes. And he heard the sinners pray.
You know, we've all heard the scripture from Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, like unto the Lord. But what most people don't know is that the word submit was added when the scriptures were translated into English. And submit was never in the original Greek manuscript. As women, we must eradicate the concept of submission from our thinking and stand firm on being the bride of the Messiah. But in order to do that, we have to be educated in our rights, both biblically and legally. receiving the healing that can only come from turning to his Son. We all will let our voices be heard. Then sings my soul.